Have you ever loved someone so completely that losing them feels like losing a part of yourself? This is the story of Olivia and Daniel, a story of love, heartbreak, and the painful journey of letting go. Olivia first met Daniel in a quiet bookstore during a rainy afternoon. Their eyes met over the same shelf of poetry books, and in that instant the world seemed to pause. Conversations flowed effortlessly, laughter came naturally, and in their first few weeks together, it felt as if they had known each other for a lifetime. Every shared smile, every whispered secret, every small gesture wove the fabric of a love they believed was unbreakable. For years, their relationship blossomed. They celebrated birthdays together, traveled to places they had dreamed of visiting, and shared late-night conversations about life, hopes, and the future. Friends and family admired their bond, often calling them soulmates. Olivia loved Daniel's gentle humor, his ability to listen, and the warmth in his eyes. Daniel loved Olivia's kindness, her laughter, and the way she could see beauty in the simplest things. Together they felt invincible. But life has a way of testing even the strongest love. Slowly, cracks began to appear. Work pressures mounted, schedules collided, and simple misunderstandings escalated into arguments. Missed dinners, forgotten promises, and unspoken frustrations created a silent tension between them. Olivia tried to bridge the gap, but Daniel's exhaustion and irritability made reconciliation difficult. The love that had once felt effortless now required work neither of them knew how to sustain. Counseling seemed like a lifeline. They attended sessions, hopeful that guidance could restore their bond. But therapy exposed truths they had been avoiding. Words of love could not erase the distance, and gestures of care were often misinterpreted. They began to realize that staying together for comfort or fear of loss was only prolonging their pain. Love alone was no longer enough. The turning point came quietly. A forgotten date, a lonely weekend, a moment of silence that spoke volumes. They both knew that something had shifted irreversibly. Through tears and whispered confessions, they reached the unimaginable decision to divorce. It was not anger that led them here, but clarity and compassion. They understood that sometimes letting go is the truest form of love. The legal process was emotionally draining. Every meeting, every document, every signature felt like a fracture in their shared history. Memories of first kisses, laughter-filled road trips, and late-night dreams haunted them. They cried alone in their apartments, replaying moments they wished they could undo or hold on to. Yet through this darkness, both began to find small sparks of clarity and strength. Olivia turned to her art to heal. Painting became a refuge, a way to express the emotions she could not articulate. She found comfort in quiet mornings, small acts of self-care, and the support of friends who reminded her that she was not alone. Slowly, she began to reclaim her identity beyond the relationship, discovering passions and joys she had long neglected. Daniel sought solace in travel and introspection. He revisited places he had always wanted to see, rediscovered hobbies abandoned during the relationship, and reconnected with family and old friends. In solitude, he learned to confront his regrets, forgive himself, and embrace the lessons of the past. Missing Olivia did not diminish his life. It enriched his understanding of love, loss, and resilience. Over time, both understood that divorce was not failure. It was a chance for rebirth. Painful memories became lessons. Tears became the seeds of growth, and letting go became a path to freedom. They discovered that endings, while heartbreaking, can open the door to a deeper understanding of oneself and life itself. Sarah and Daniel, though no longer together, learned to cherish the good moments without being trapped by the past. They forgave each other and themselves, realizing that love can exist even when it is no longer shared. Each day brought new opportunities, new beginnings, and the quiet joy of rebuilding their lives. They found that happiness could be recreated, not as a replacement for what was lost, but as an evolution of the heart. Olivia began mentoring young artists, sharing her journey and inspiring others to find strength in vulnerability. Daniel dedicated time to volunteering, finding fulfillment in service and human connection. Both learned that healing is not linear, but with patience and self-compassion, life can bloom again. Through heartbreak, they discovered the power of resilience. They realized that love is not only about holding on, but also about knowing when to let go. Courage, compassion, and forgiveness became their guiding lights. They found that endings can teach us the most profound lessons about empathy, growth, and hope. Olivia and Daniel's journey reminds us that no love is wasted. Every laugh, every tear, every shared dream shapes the person we become. Life may close one chapter, but it also offers the chance to start anew, to rebuild, and to embrace a future filled with possibility. Even in sorrow, there is beauty. Even in goodbye, there is hope. Their story shows that moving on is not forgetting, but rather honoring the past while creating a new life for oneself. It is a reminder that the human heart, though fragile, has an incredible capacity to heal, to love again, and to find joy in unexpected places. And so, as Olivia walks through her studio, brush in hand, and Daniel stands on a quiet hill watching the sunset, both understand that life goes on. They carry their love as a memory, their pain as a lesson, and their newfound strength as a gift. Sometimes the hardest goodbyes give way to the most beautiful beginnings, and that is the story of love lost, lessons learned, and life rebuilt. An emotional journey that reminds us all of the courage it takes to let go and the hope that follows.